Hey, this is John for jmcGarage in the jmcGarage for this week's jmcGarage video. And this week what we're going to be showcasing is actual exhaust work done on the Ford Escape. Now, the reason why this is special is, from what I can tell, this is the first time exhaust has ever been done for the new 1.5 inline MPC EcoBoost 3-cylinder. And the reason why this is significant is there's been many exhaust videos done of the older 3-cylinder. The one in the Bronco Sport is going to be known as the Dragon inline 3-cylinder. But this 3-cylinder is different because it's based on a totally different engine architecture. It's actually based off the MPC engine architecture. So what I wanted to do in this video is kind of showcase the exhaust that was done on this Escape, kind of guys what you guys think about it, and kind of give a highlight to anybody who has a 2023 and newer Ford Escape equipped with the 1.5, or if you have a 2025 and newer Ford Bronco Sport equipped with the 1.5, it's going to have a similar tone. This may be a little bit louder on the Escape versus the Bronco Sport because unfortunately the Bronco Sport uses a power robbing GPF, also known as gasoline particulate filter. The Escape doesn't use that and will probably never have that. So anyway, let's go ahead and begin. Let's do a cold start real quick. Kind of was already cold start. It's about 50 degrees out here. It's very raining. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a cold start. Then we'll do some revs once it kind of settles down and warms up a little bit. And then we'll do some in-cabin driving just to let you guys know what it sounds like. And maybe we'll do some quick flybys if we can kind of swing it in. But anyway, let's go ahead and see. So let me explain to you what the exhaust is real quick before I start it. It is going to be just a regular muffler delete. So the muffler in the back was taken out. That's it right there. Big old muffler right there. The Bronco Sport uses a similar design muffler. And then, because they're both based off the same C2 architecture, so what has been changed has been there is a pre-cat, then there is a secondary main cat, and then there is what they call a pressure relieved resonator valve. So what that resonator valve does is that when you get on the throttle, the valve actually, because of the pressure of the exhaust, actually pushes it open and expels it out more. But under light load, under idle, the spring on that valve is more closed and the exhaust has to travel through almost like a quarter size kind of a hole in that valve itself. So anyway, that was left in its place. So the only thing is pretty much the two cats, the exhaust resonator valve, and then of course a Y pipe when you have the dual exhaust right back here with stock tips. So here we go. Again, we already started it once before, so it's kind of a cold start. RPMs. So let's do a couple revs. Got a little bit of temperature in the engine. Let's do some gradual revs, and then we'll go out and let you know what it sounds like from the interior driving. So many have said this thing sounds like a cross between a lawnmower and a motorcycle. I would say it sounds more closer to a motorcycle than maybe a lawnmower, but one of the things that you notice is that it doesn't get raspy at all. Even when you get on it, which we will do, it doesn't really get, even though it's running a straight pipe, you know, besides the resonator and the 2 cats, it doesn't really get raspy. Unlike some 4-cylinders out there, and even some 3-cylinders. So, and it has a unique sound to it, that's for sure. Very unique. So let's go ahead and we're going to go inside, we're going to blast down the road, and then we'll see if we can get a drive-by of this guy. Alright, we're back. Doing some interior shots of this exhaust. Again, this is the 2025 Ford Escape with the 1.5 MPC inline 3-cylinder EcoBoost engine. Again, this is different from the Dragon 3-cylinder that was offered from 2020 to 2022 in the Ford Escape, and from 2021 to 2024 on the Ford Bronco Sport. So right now, we're going to do some mild driving, getting up to speed before we actually get on it. We're in normal mode. And that was, I don't know, about quarter of a throttle. Barely kind of pushing it, got up to about 55 there. And then we'll do some kind of full blast performance shots here. We'll put it in sport mode, see what you guys think. Just popped it in sport mode. Shifted right at 6. And then we'll come back and do a launch of the interior, and then maybe a drive-by on the outside. So let's go ahead and do that. We're still in sport mode. It's just raining outside. This sounds very different from the MPC 4-cylinder that's in like the Explorer and the Mustang. It's not as refined as the MPC 4-cylinder. Of course, we're missing a cylinder, but all right, I'm going to launch it here. Not bad. It is wet outside. All right. Back to normal. And we're gonna find a spot where this looks good. So I'm gonna have my son get out. Be the sacrificial lamb to get wet.
Oh, you suck.
And I'll do a launch, and then I'll do a drive-by.
Yep.
that. Again, we did some drive-bys, a nice launch. Again, 1.5 inline 3 MPC EcoBoost, 3-cylinder, and yeah, so with straight pipe, just a muffler delete. All we did was replace the muffler with a wide pipe and then 2 outlets on either side with the stock tips for a 2025 Ford Escape. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, I'm gonna launch from this, not launch, but I'm gonna drive like a moderate acceleration off of the stop sign here, just to give you guys what it sounds like moderately accelerating in this interior, and then we'll kind of close out the video. I will say this, you do hear the turbo a little bit more, even with the exhaust. You can tell that the muffler was really kind of a choking point for this engine. This engine is very sensitive to anything that's obstructing in the exhaust flow. One of the things I noticed when it comes to this version of this particular engine versus in the Bronco Sport is that in the Escape it feels more powerful. It actually accelerates faster than in the Bronco Sport. Not because the Bronco Sport is heavier, maybe by 100 pounds, if that. It's because the Bronco Sport has a power-robbing gasoline particulate filter. I'm just telling you, there is a difference in the way this feels and a difference in the Bronco Sport with the same engine. So, again, this engine is very sensitive, and as soon as you uncork this engine, it actually gives you a rewarding feeling and response and all that. You can actually hear the turbo spool up more than when the muffler was actually on this. So maybe if we're kind of quiet, you might be able to hear the turbo spool. So let me see if we can capture that on video. Okay, I wasn't able to capture it then, but anyway, you get the idea. So, all right, we're going to close out this video. This is John for JMC Garage. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and you guys have a blessed and wonderful day, and we'll catch you on the next one. Again, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. You guys be blessed.